InvestED has been providing students and their parents with solutions to help put higher education within reach. Today, Bill Wozniak, who is the Vice President of Communications and Student Services, is here to join me to share more about their services, and particularly FAFSA. Hello, Bill.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful, thank you.
Good. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. I know that this is such an important topic for parents and for students as they try to prepare their next steps for higher education, whether they are going into college or they are already there and needing to continue. So let's start off by just really understanding about the FAFSA form. What is it and how exactly does it work?
It's the free application for federal student aid, but the name is sort of misleading because it is for federal student aid, but it's also for state of Indiana aid, and it's also for aid from the colleges and institutions themselves. So it's so much more than just federal aid. So it's such an important form. And by filing the FAFSA, you then put yourself in position for any of these grants and aid that is available. So it's just such a critically important form to file if you're going to have education beyond high school.
Right. And who really is eligible for it? Can anyone fill out this type of form to see if they can get funding and financial aid?
That's what we recommend. One of the great things that people find out is that they are eligible. A lot of times people think they aren't, but they really are. And if you file the form, you get it done, you put yourself in position as opposed to taking yourself out of position for any of these different types of financial aid.
Okay, and what are some of the best methods or ways for students to fill out the forms? Of course, it's encouraged that Indiana high schoolers go ahead with this process, but what do you suggest?
Ideally, you go to the FAFSA page, you go to federal student aid, and you click on file the FAFSA, and you go in there and you fill out the form, kind of like taxes. You go in, you fill it out, and a lot of times people are fine. But also, many people have trouble with it. They have a question or two that they just don't understand, they're just not sure about, and nobody wants to make a mistake. So if that's the case, you have us, InvestED. Our phone number is 317-715-9007. A simple phone call, and you can talk to one of our free experts. That'll get you across the finish line. Hopefully you don't need any help, but if you do, help is available.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that number. We'll make sure it's provided on the screen. And so question for you, Bill, does Indiana provide significant need-based aid for students?
Very generous. Indiana is very generous with its financial aid. The problem is when people don't file the FAFSA, they take themselves out of the possibility for some of that aid, and then it doesn't get used. And so Indiana is very generous with financial aid, but without filing the FAFSA, you're not in position. So that's such a critically important step of the process.
And what do you feel maybe some big myths about the cost of college and financial aid in particular?
The two biggest myths are I'm going to have to pay sticker price. I'm going to have to pay that big number. And in most cases, that's not what the student pays. It's the net price. But it's really hard to get that information across to everybody. It's usually the net price. It is the net price. It's not usually the sticker price. And then the second one is I'm not going to get aid. Most people believe they're not going to get financial aid. And the good news is, in most cases, that's not true. They will get aid, and we have to try to get that across to people.
Right, exactly. At the very least, try and go for it, but you're missing out on money, as you said. They leave it on the table. And so how can families actually reach out to you if they are interested in speaking with someone maybe like a financial aid expert?
The two best ways, the phone number 317-715-9007. If you call, one of our experts will just pick up the phone or just leave us a quick message and we'll get right back to you in order. And then our website is investedindiana.org. And on there, there's a tab with Contact Us, and you can find an email address where you can just shoot a note. And again, we just get to those in order, and our team just reaches back out. It's completely free. We get you the information. We get you across the finish line.
Perfect. Perfect. And that's so great that they can experience that one-on-one conversation through INvestED. And I love the name, INvestED, INvestED, play off of words. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bill, for stopping by and sharing this important information with us.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yes, take care.
Bye now.
And if you would like more information about INvestED, we'll have their website and phone number listed below. And I'll see you after the break.